gratuite.
Bonjour tout le monde, encore une fois on est au boot de CineForm. CineForm, on vous a présenté Neo 3D, First Light au post-NAB l'an dernier, une fois de plus à notre événement stéréoscopique. Et récemment, il est arrivé quelque chose de très bien dans le milieu du 3D. Il y a eu l'acquisition de CineForm par GoPro. Alors on va s'entretenir avec David Newman à propos de ceci. Hi David.
Hello.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good seeing you guys. Thanks.
So it'll be an interesting NAB for you guys this year.
It totally was. Well, totally is. We knew that we were purchased by GoPro, but the messaging has been something that we've been working out because getting two very disparate companies together and coming up with this, what we wanted to deliver, and this is the story that we're here talking about.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, for me, it was really interesting. It's this kind of what I thought was a weird acquisition where, you know, we know CineForm for being this really high-end, high-quality codec and workflow tools, and you've got GoPro with these little $200 cameras, and they buy you guys out. So how does that work out for you guys development-wise?
Well, there's two things about that. GoPro is not just the little, it's not a flip camera. This is a camera that's used a lot in real production, both for film and television production. It's used a lot in Discovery Channel, ESPN. It is a professional acquisition tool. True, a large part of their market is consumers having fun on the weekend. But they are very much interested in supporting the professional business. So much so, when the acquisition of CineForm, they wanted high-end 3D production tools to be able to assist in their new 3D camera. Without those production tools, their camera was sort of like stagnant. It wouldn't be able to ship in the market and be given a good experience for both professional and consumer use. But moving forward, they're very interested in saying, keeping the professional line of CineForm products going, and in fact, making it much easier for us to support new markets. Neo 3D is now going to be, at the show, is now beyond $999. It was a $3,000 product. As CineForm alone, we couldn't have afforded to do that. But under GoPro, the marketing muscle of GoPro allows us to increase our reach, go up in volume, get this into many more hands, and actually be aggressive in terms of maintaining what is really our dominance right now in 3D post-production, and giving, particularly for broadcast application, where really there is no other tools that can do what we can do. And instead of allowing others to come in underneath us, we've got products for our new, the product line is basically going to be free if you're shooting GoPro or consumer the 3D cameras, free. So you just go to the GoPro site, you download CineForm. I got the names that still so new to me. It's on my shirt. Yeah, GoPro CineForm Studio is free. We are looking to add more 2D camera support to it as well. So if you have a Canon DLSR, you can 7D, 5D, T2i, you can throw it in that. You can convert to CineForm for free. So this is, you know, something that we couldn't afford to do as just a software company alone. And it will obviously work great with GoPro cameras. Then we got what was Neo 4K is now the premium product, GoPro CineForm Studio Premium, and that is now $299. So if you're using red material, phantom material, so you've got SI, whatever, get First Light, all your color corrections, all your 3D corrections for parallel shooters. That would mean like Panasonic 3D-A1, any of the full resolution modes on the MVC cameras, the new cameras that are coming out, the new Panasonic ABC Intra 3D cameras and stuff like that are coming out. Those sort of things for $300. And then our premium product, Neo 3D, is now the professional line for the studio products, and that's going to be $999. And that's going to be for beam splitter rigs. It's going to be for everything else that you would do in 3D, including all the window masking for floating windows and ghost busting. And we have this thing called depth tilt that allows some interesting 3D budgeting controls. And so all our suite is the existing suite enhanced, re-envisaged with a new product naming, and then and basically aggressively supported by GoPro with their marketing muscle and their awesome footage, actually, which is actually one of the best way of delivering 3D messages. You know, extreme sports is just a really good showcase for how 3D can be used, and so that's why we're excited by it. Absolutely.
Well, this is really cool. Well, will these CineForm Studio applications replace First Light or complement First Light? How does that fit in?
What's going to happen is that the new user interface that we've done for CineForm Studio, the free application, actually is a light version of First Light, but it's got a really good import interface, ingest interface. Because one of the things we realized we had to do with a GoPro camera, because it's not mounted, someone's not behind the camera pressing record, stop and record, it's often mounted on a bike or on the front of a surfboard or so on, that you start recording, you get very long takes. You've got half-hour recording sequences. Yeah, but you might only have 30 seconds of cool stuff that you want to pull from it. Yep. So we have a visual log and transfer kind of thing, very visual. You can trim and say, oh, this is what I want, this is what I want. I only want these scenes converted to CineForm. So that new interface is going to go for all cameras. We don't, when you use like NeoCine or Neo HD, or when remaster on the Mac, it's not a very visual process. We've been traditionally focused on the creative filmmaker. We got circle takes. You go convert these and you're done. You don't need to see them until you. Well, we realize now we wanted a visual interface that allow you to a lot more flexibility in the kinds of contents you're converting. So First Light is going to still absolutely exist. It's going to be upgraded with a new import ingest, and instead of just being GoPro cameras as it is right now and what we're showing here, you'll be able to put red content into there. You'll be able to put phantom content. You'll be able to put 5D and so on into that visual ingest. You'll be able to batch convert to CineForm. It's getting faster than ever. It's already extremely fast, faster than real time. And then you have the First Light experience. There's probably just going to be some subtle branding and logo changes on that, but otherwise, all the controls you have, all the flexibility, and the integration of the active metadata within your editing tools, whether Final Cut Pro, Media Composer, Sony Vegas, CS5.
So all of these CineForm Studio applications will also work on the Mac. How's the Mac platform right now for you guys?
Normally CineForm tools have not had a very uniform visual image. The experience with, for example, First Light, it was a little bit different between Mac and PC. Some things were better on the Mac, some things were better on the PC. One of the things that GoPro has been very interested in pushing us into is getting a much more uniform experience between that. In fact, if you look at if you download, it's free, download the CineForm Studio from the GoPro site right now, you'll notice the Mac and PC versions are nearly pixel for pixel identical. And so there's a great cross-platform experience, and we're trying to improve on that across all our product line. It will take a few months to get there, to really do that. We've got a lot of things planned over the next few months, but that is also one of the goals, is to unify the experience so that the UI is easily accessible from a Mac user on a PC and vice versa.
Very cool. Well, congratulations on all these great developments, and the price cuts are always nice, and I guess you guys have more money in the bank to help you move forward and develop new and cool stuff.
That's one way of putting it. It's more that we have now we're on a very sound footing. GoPro's a very successful company with a lot of support, whereas we were a startup before, and now the decisions we can make, we can look far more long term than we've done before, and that's good for all CineForm users and for this technology going on into the future.
Thank you very much, David.
Thanks.